In just about 1 hour, the House Judiciary Committee will begin debating the 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump. So how are Republicans feeling about this today? Joining me now, CNN political commentators and former Republican Congressman Sean Duffy and Charlie Dent. Great to see both of you this morning. So, Congressman Duffy, I want to start with you because on our air in the past, you have admitted that you were not comfortable with the president asking for help with a political rival on that phone call with the president of Ukraine. So now that today's the day and they begin this debate and the House Judiciary will vote on impeachment, how are you feeling?
So first, what I've said is I didn't like the comment that the president made about Rudy Giuliani. I had no problem with the comment about, Joe Biden or looking back to the 2016 election.
Hold on a second. Let me just be clear. So you have no problem with asking a foreign leader to help investigate a political rival? Yes or no?
No, well, I don't have a problem with a president saying, hey, listen, if we have a former vice president whose son was making millions of dollars in the Ukraine with a corrupt gas company, we should take a look at that. I have no problem with
having help from a foreign country in that
way.
Well,
that's where the investigation would happen. And I think most people look at that and say, listen, it smells really bad what Hunter Biden was doing. And if there was no Hunter Biden in the Ukraine and the president had that call, that would be a different scenario. But because of what Hunter Biden was doing and Joe Biden was leading American policy in the Ukraine, I do think it was appropriate. I know some people don't like that, and there's disagreement on that point, Allison.
What part weren't you comfortable with, since you said you weren't comfortable with something?
Yeah, I didn't like the point about Rudy Giuliani in the phone call. I think this was an official call. Rudy Giuliani wasn't working in an official capacity. I didn't like that part of it. But let's be clear. They're not trying to impeach Donald Trump over the part about Rudy Giuliani. I think we're having an American conversation about, does this meet the threshold for impeachment? And I think what I see in Wisconsin, and I've seen polling in Charlie's state of Pennsylvania, this is dropping like a lead balloon, America's support for impeachment. It doesn't exist. This is bad for Democrats.
Okay. First of all, the polls that you're citing, those state polls, don't meet. The methodology is too sketchy for us to be able to use those state polls. They involve, it's from a Republican polling firm, and they just involve person-to-person texts among. So we don't use those particular polls. But Charlie, let's get to Congressman Duffy's point, which is that the polls don't like this, so he doesn't support the impeachment.
Well, the polls, look, the country's fairly evenly divided on impeachment. We know that. That's been the case for some time. In fact, if we're going to talk polls, let's talk about the poll that you showed on your show last week, which was the one in Kendra Horn's district in Oklahoma that showed, I think, 52% supported keeping the president in office, and about, in the high 40s, they were for removing him. That's in Oklahoma. So, yeah, is there political risk here for all these members in swing districts for the Democrats? Sure, there's risk, but I'm not sure how much. And we simply don't know the politics, how it's going to play in a year from now. I mean, none of us know this. And so I think it's completely overstated, the political implications right now. And, of course, it cuts both ways, because Senate Republicans in those swing states who are up for election also are extremely exposed. So, that's the politics of this.
Hey, Congressman Duffy, I have a question. If you're comfortable with what the president asked for on the call, and if you think that the polls that you've seen suggest that voters in swing states like it, would you like to see him do more of it? Because last week, Rudy Giuliani was back in Ukraine looking for more information or more dirt that can be used in the 2020 race. So are you if you're comfortable, are you pleased that more of it can happen before 2020?
Well, listen, what Rudy Giuliani, I was talking to you last week, Allison, or I was talking to John last week. Listen, I don't know what Rudy Giuliani's doing in his 007 action in the Ukraine.
He's looking for more dirt at the behest of the president,
but
he
there's
says.
nothing
That's what
illegal.
he's doing.
There's nothing illegal for an American citizen to go to the Ukraine. But I will say this.
To dig up dirt for the president. That's what he's doing, just to be clear, Congressman.
But CNN has done actually some really good reporting in Wisconsin. And it's interesting. Even, I think last week, you had a segment when Charlie and I were on, and it was about, one of the most liberal parts of Wisconsin is Milwaukee, and you were doing a segment on, drinking liberally in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And even there, even the drinking liberal group in Wisconsin is running away from impeachment because they know it's bad politics.
So just answer the question. So if you are comfortable with this and you think the polls are on your side, would you like to see the president do more of this and ask for more foreign help for 2020?
Well, no. What I say is, if we have more Joe and Hunter Biden scenarios, I think the president should make sure we investigate it. Do I think we should have more Democrats trying to impeach a president over, what we've all heard about through this phone call? I don't think we should, Allison. I don't think Americans like it. Now, I'll tell you this. Will Americans maybe say, I don't like what the president has done. Maybe you should censure him? They might say that, but they go, this is
Do you like that idea? Do you think he should be censured?
This is a parking offense that he's getting the death penalty for. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, go ahead, Charlie.
Look, Rudy Giuliani and Hunter Biden, frankly, are not the issue. The issue here is the president's conduct in office. Yes, what Hunter Biden did smelled. It wasn't criminal, it wasn't illegal, but it certainly doesn't pass the smell test. And, it's a diversion to talk about Rudy Giuliani. In that transcript, not only did the president throw Rudy Giuliani under the bus, he threw Bill Barr under the bus. He said, call Rudy, call Bill Barr, or they're going to talk to you. I mean, this is terrible. But the issue is the president's conduct in office and how he used or misused his office to solicit a foreign head of government to interfere in the election. The president said ad nauseum during the Russia thing that, no collusion, no collusion. Well, this is collusion. And, of course, there was the quid pro quo, and then using federal resources as leverage to compel the Ukrainians to do what he wanted. I mean, that's what's at issue here. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Rudy didn't do that. Hunter Biden didn't do it. I
think a lot of Americans look at this, though, and they realize that Democrats have been trying to impeach Donald Trump since he was elected. I mean, Jerry Nadler ran for the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, saying he would be the best Democrat to impeach Donald Trump.
As you know, Nancy Pelosi was very reluctant. Very reluctant. That's just not so. That's not a truism. But some people felt strongly about it. But Nancy Pelosi dragged her feet.
Impeachment was dead after Mueller.
We know that Democrats, I mean, from Schiff to Nadler, some of the lead players in this, were trying to impeach the president even before any phone call was made to the Ukraine. And I think that does not bolster the credibility of Democrats. It's saying you're looking for an opportunity to impeach the president, and you've been looking for it, since he was elected, and so you don't have the credibility on this issue.
We've got 10 seconds. Go, Charlie. Most
of the smart Democrats did not want to impeach President Trump until this whole Ukraine matter blew up. And it blew up in such an obvious way, and we got all kinds of witness testimony to corroborate it. So that's why we are where we are. But after Mueller was done, there would have been no impeachment, but for Ukraine.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much for giving us a window into how you're feeling. Sean Duffy, Charlie Dent, we appreciate it.
Have a good morning.
John.
We're about to get a much bigger window into much greater feeling. CNN's special coverage of the debate over